Nella stagione 1982-1983 i Lions partecipano per la prima volta al massimo campionato italiano, la Serie A1. Per farlo si affidano a un giovane mediano di mischia neozelandese, ex capitano dei Junior All Blacks. Tra Gary Barkle e i Lions nasce un forte legame che resiste ancora oggi. Ciao Gary, you got here your New Zealand jersey. Tell us about your career back in New Zealand.
I started rugby when I was 5 years old and played then until until I came to Italy, and then when I went back to New Zealand. So I played for 30 years almost. But my serious rugby was when I went to the University of Canterbury, and then I played for Canterbury and the Junior All Blacks for 3 years, 1 year as captain, and then I came to Italy in August 1982, 40 years ago.
Are you still a supporter of rugby? You follow
I follow rugby
yes?
everywhere.
Everywhere.
I watch the Six Nations. I watch rugby being played, not as closely as previously. Marie and I, my wife, we watch Lions results on the website each weekend, and so we have an interest in rugby.
Here it is, your team photo from your first year here in Piacenza.
Yes.
Tell us about how you came here and what are your memories about that season.
Okay. So I knew a player who had been here previously, and I had just finished my study at the University of Canterbury in law. And so Marie and I wanted another experience, another challenge. And so I was in touch with Peter Cook, who had played here in 1980. And Lions had just been promoted into Serie A, and they wanted a halfback, Emiliano Di Mischia. And fortunately, we arrived. I remember most, at the start, we lost 10 games in a row. The first 10 games. I said to Lions, I am no use to you. I should go home. But they said, wait. The rain arrived, the fog, the nebula arrived. Fango così, a Beltrametti.
We got photos of you playing in really mud.
Mud, like così, fango così. Buono per questa squadra con avanti molto forte.
Heavy team.
Molto forte. E poi dopo 10 partita perso in fila, we won 3, and then we managed in the next round to stay in Serie A, Salvezza. So it was a good season. And then we decided, Marie and I, to stay in Italy and do some travelling and play the next year. And so the next year, 83-84, we managed to do well enough to be in the pool Scudetto. So two years, 2 seasons that were most enjoyable.
And did you have a teammate who you were really close in that period?
No, we were all enjoyed playing rugby together. We were all friends, and it was a good time, I think, for Lions. 40 years ago now.
The coach was Loredano, right?
Both seasons, Loredano, yeah.
And now we talk about your other life. In a way, you are a judge and a barrister in New Zealand. Tell us about your other career.
Okay, so I studied law at the University of Canterbury, and before I came, I had not worked as a lawyer before I came to Lions the first time. So I go back to New Zealand and start working as a lawyer in a firm. And after some time, I started working as a barrister on my own. And in 2015, I became a judge. And I've been a judge for 8 years. But in New Zealand, there's a different system than here in Italy, because I understand that you can choose to be a judge when you study to be a judge or an avvocato, no? In New Zealand, after you've been working as a lawyer or avvocato, in time you get chosen to be a judge.
Then you came back to Piacenza in 1988, and here's another team photo of yours, but this time you were a coach.
The first year in 98,
88-89.
So I was just a player because Nen McEwen was the coach, and my first child, Clara, was born in Italy in September 1988 here in Piacenza. And then the next season, 89, 90, I was the coach of the team in the second year. So I had two more seasons of rugby in Italy when I was getting a bit older, slower, but perhaps wiser.
And for a scrum half is very good to be quicker with
the mind and maybe the mouth too.
Yeah. And what are your memories about these other 2 seasons here in Piacenza?
We were, I think, in A2, second division, and I remember a lot new players, younger players, and the club was getting bigger. This club rooms were here. These club rooms were not here the first time, but we trained here, and it was a much bigger organisation and club this time.
And about the playing season, the games, were the team good? Were you enjoying the time?
Good young team, and the second season I enjoyed coaching the team. It was another wonderful rugby experience for me.
Now you came here after 40 years since the first time, and what are the things that you saw that struck you more about the clubhouse? Maybe it's bigger, the organization, the team, and so on.
We have been back to Piacenza 2 or 3 times. The last time I was here was 2015. And the club, I came when the club was 50 years old in 2013 also. But every year it gets bigger and keeps moving forward. And we watch from New Zealand the progress of the club, and it's great that it's still in Italy and here in Piacenza, still moving forward. And still there are players that I was involved with the club now. But it still has the same spirit. I saw the first team last week, and they seem so young, and I'm old, but so young now. But they do well. And rugby is now more a professional sport than when I played. It was all amateur.
And like you wrote on the
on
the Targa, yes. What is your relationship with Lions? You are here. You have been in touch with the reality. When you think about Lions, what do you think, and what's comes to your mind?
For me and Marie, my wife, it was a great life experience to come to another country. New Zealand, as you know, was a long way away. And so to come and learn about another country and to be part of another city and a rugby club when we were young was very important for our lives and for just us. And we have every day met people we knew and played with, and there's still the same friendship and enjoyment and being part of a very close rugby club. It's a special club here in Lions. It's very special for me and for Marie and our children who come here too. We are very lucky to have been part of Lions and be part of Lions.
And you found strange that Lions is with the Y. The first time you saw it, what did you think?
No, it's good. I thought it was Lyon in francese. Ma adesso Lions is much easier to say. For ma L-Y, see, my first thought, Lyon. Ma Lions. And I like with the
logo.
The logo and con the sigaro.
Yes.
It's serious, but for enjoyment too. Yeah.
Thank you, Gary. For now, we're done. And then if you have some, like 5 minutes, we thought we could do something in Stadium Beltronetti.
Sure. When you want
on
to.
the field, there's no mud, so it's very bad.
No, the second time it was all good. The first time, everyone trained there, we all played there, but it was good for the team.
It was strategy.
Great strategy.
Here we are in Stadio Beltronetti.
See.
It's quite different from the first time.
Ah,
Right?
very different. No snow, no mud. Ma, when I first, in August, in September and October, it was like this. Perfect. But then the weather changed and we all trained here, we all played here, and the mud arrived. But it was very good for Lions.
The training field there is that we use now, there wasn't at the time.
Did not exist, no.
Okay.
We used to train a little bit over here, the back of here, or on here.
Understood. And you see now this stadium, and what memories do you come to mind? A special game you played here, something like that?
Yes, I remember winning my first win against Beneventon after the 10 losses in the first, and then I remember we won more frequently, and I remember we winning I don't remember against who, but enough to stay up in 1983.
And do you have a particular event outside of the field that you remember, like a very funny event or something like that?
I remember a lot of good times after games. I remember having some parties at our house, Marie and I's house. We stayed in the first 2 years in Potenzano, and I remember the team going back there, and I remember the neighbours turning off the electricity because there was too much noise on Sunday night after the game. I remember Loredano and Claudio De Trovi running from Potenzano to Piacenza after the parties. A lot of trouble.
Very funny, very good time.
And a lot of trouble.
And in Piacenza, what are the things that you see that are changed from 40 years ago?
The city is no, not. There's still the same. I still can get around the city okay. I still remember, but it is faster and more people, and just 40 years is a lot of changes, but still the same place in lots of ways, Alessandro.
And Have you been to Podenzano? To the
Yes, but Podenzano has got bigger
Yes.
than when we lived there. When we lived there in Via Piave, but and now there is more places out at Podenzano. More people live there than when we were in 1982. A lot more.
And do you like the stadium now?
Yes, it looks good. January, field firm, nice day. It's lovely.
You looking for the game today?
Yeah, I want to play.
You would like to play
Yes,
with this, and not in the mud.
Yeah. I want to play, ma the corpo non va. The testa sì, ma the corpo non va.
Perfect. Thank you very much,
Oh,
Gary.
thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh,